Hi, this is video number 2 on how to run a pickleball league. Today we're going to go over some of the paperwork that is involved as far as weekly to run your pickleball league. So the first thing you need is a score sheet that everybody gets. We put them 2 to a page and we have them on our website. People can download them, as well as we staple a copy to the back of their welcome packet so that they have them and they can always make copies from them. So, and the other thing we need is your website where you're going to track your papers. This is how we first started doing it, so I'm going to show you this one. We just made a sheet with people's names on it. As you can see, let's see if I can get it in here. Okay, so Will is going to be the team captain. Pat, Stu, and Mike are on team 1 with him. Then John is going to be the captain of 2 with Eleanor, June, and the sub named Babette, which is just whoever they want. It was either them putting sub. Then Mike is the team captain with Paul, Sandy, and Gwen. Melody has a bye. Jean is a captain with Lorraine, Carol, and the sub named Trixie. Then Bob is a team captain for 5. He's got Susan, Bonnie, Reagan. Becky is team 6 captain. She's got Trish, Tom, and Melina. Clay is team 7's captain. He's got Joan, Joy, and Debbie. And then Ron has a bye, Noelle has a bye, Christine has a bye, Ward has a bye. We just keep them on the roster because this is, if you go up here, this is a summer session. Maybe. Summer session, week 1. So these people who took the byes are actually probably on vacation because it's summer. Then we have Paula. She's the team captain with Alicia, Wendy, and the sub named Lola. We have Michelle, who's a team captain with Donna, Cindy, and Ann. And Jim as a team captain with Lou, Lois, and Beth. So in this scenario, we have 10 teams, which equals 40 people. So that's just a brief summary of how we do that. So the teams will... So right here is the paperwork. It's a SFS Spotsy Pickleball Ladder League scoring. So we have the date, the week, the team number, which we've changed on our new ones. These were just old sheets because I'm trying to get rid of them. Where it was played at, which is Kenmore, and what time, 7 p.m. So our new score sheets show those things. So the first match is between 1 and 2. Will is 1, Pat is 2, and then 3 and 4, Stu and Mike. So they played their match. Will and Pat won with 11 points. Stu and Mike didn't win with 7 points. Then we go to the second match. It's 1 and 3, so Will and Stu versus 3 and 2 for Pat and Mike. So Will got 11 again, and Pat got 5. Will's partner and him got 11, and then 5 for Mike, because Mike and Pat's score is always the same, and Will and Stu's score is always the same when they're partners. Round 3. And round 3, we have 1 and 4 versus 3 and 2. So Will got 11, Pat got 10, Stu got 10, and Mike got 11. And their final scores were Will got a total of 33. Pat got a total of 26. Stu got a total of 28. And Mike C got a total of 23. So then we take those scores. Week 1, Will, we're putting all of his scores on just from this sheet onto this sheet, giving him a grand total of 33. And Pat, I did the same. So we're going to do Stu's scores next, which were 7. Whoops, I don't know if I tabbed it or not. And 10. And that gave him a total of 28. Then we're putting in Mike C's numbers. He got 7, 5, and 11 for a total of 23. So when doing my ladder, after I would have all the scores in, because I have all their sheets, here's team 2, and here's team 3. So let's do some magic and I'll put those scores in. Team 2 was John, Eleanor, June, and the sub Babette. And so I just put their scores into the spreadsheet, and then we did that one. And then Team 3, I did the same thing. I put their scores in. They didn't have any subs. They played at Cosner. They were Team 3, week 1, and the date they played. So here are the scores in here. So we would make a copy of this and put this in our notebook at this time. And then we also made these sheets up. And I'll explain why in just a second. So these sheets are just how many weeks are going to be in this ladder, which are 7 on this one. And then the person's name and what their score was that week. There are 2 ways to do things. You can come over here and say, okay, Stu and Will, we'll just do this because it might be easier, were the top 2 for theirs. Then the next 4, we have John and Eleanor were the top 2. So there's a couple ways to do it. The first way is you could take Will and Stu, they're both 1s, and then John and Eleanor would move up. Pat and Mike would move down and play June and Babette. That's one way to do it. That's the way we do it now, but we did have some growing pains because we didn't have as many players in the beginning, and we didn't really know how everybody would play. So what we did was we made these sheets. So it would say their week 1 score, we would just put it down, and whatever other scores. Then we would be able to move these around and say, okay, Stu and Will, that's a good good 2. Then we'll throw that person in, and we'll throw this person in. We were able to maneuver these in different places, and then it was easier to write down the. So this is what we would do. So these would be all the captains were in the middle. It's week 2. They also happen to be the first one on the list. And then it was Team 1, Team 2, Team 3, Team 4. Well, I guess we didn't have a Team 5. Team 6, Team 7, Team 8, and Team 9. And then who is going to be out that week. The reason why we have the different colors. We noticed after our first session, and then definitely after our second session, that there were definitely tiers of players. They pretty much, these pink ones, we could consider them all A players. Most people would say 4035. And so when we were on these sheets, I'd color code them so we could move just these people around. And then Team 4 was kind of a mixture. They could go either up or down. And I don't know where Team 5 went on this one. But Team 6 and 7, those were consistent 3-0s. Maybe could be a 3-5 on their very luckiest day, but most likely not. And then these 2 teams consisted of our newbies, people who had just started playing. So say Trish B never would come across Melody L in the ladder because it wouldn't be fun for Melody because she is a really good hitter. And Trish is Trish is just learning. And we don't want to put her up against people who are going to make her have 0 points the whole way through her match. So this is kind of what we devised, and the colors corresponded with the colors that were on their papers when we moved them around. It took 2 of us to do it when we had this many teams. When we first started, we had 5. I had 5 teams, so I was doing it by myself. But as we got more and more players and the teams grew, it just takes that much more time to input everything and to get the next week's matches set up. So I'm going to pause for a second. So that was the paperwork part of it. It worked really well until we got past 10 teams. As we got past 10 teams, all these things and the colors and all that, it was taking a really long time. So we changed it up even more. So my friend, her husband is a computer guy. Her name is Melody, and I will put a picture in right now. So he wrote us a program that we keep in Google Docs or Google Sheets. So that way we could all share it if we needed to. So I am going to pull it up right now. Here's, oh, I gotta turn this so I can see better. Here's all that information that we had just read off from the other sheet. So what this program did for us, which made it so much easier, is it took the person's name, it automatically put them in order of their rankings each week. So you can see week 1, week 2, week 3. He must have had a bye for week 5 and 6, and then his total points were 149 out of 145. He had one bye, but that gave him a 90. So this was just a way that was easier. He also made it so that he could, let's see, we could track who had buys on here. So again, I'm letting it focus. We have the names and if they took a bye, or if they subbed, what their points were, just so that we could figure it out. Then we had our current session, which this is our carryover from last time. So the people who sign up for the ladder this time will stay in these positions and we'll put other people in this to our website, as well as we email it to every current player and sub on the list for that week. We email it so that the captains, who are number 1, they can email the rest of their team to set up the match. Also, if we have, oh, I don't see any subs on, oh, here's Lola the sub. So Lola was in Ward's group, and so Ward was going to have to find a sub. So these subs would see this thing, and Trish would say, oh, see, it says what level they're at. Oh, I really would want to play. Can I be Lola? And that's what happens is these people get excited about playing and will call the day this comes out or email someone so that they can be the sub right away. And it works really well. So these are the weekly matches. So we can just keep track and we just kind of X them off as people turn in their scores. Because like I said, there's 2 of us that are doing these scores. And I'm the make sure everybody gets their scores in, and she's the put the scores in the computer. So that is an up close view of a week in the ladder. Like I said, some people have ladders that are all on one day. So you would just bring that main sheet, post it up, whether they collected these or just wrote it themselves into the main sheet is something that you could decide. Where we live, it just worked better for people to make their own matches. There really hasn't been that difficult of a time. It seemed to be more difficult in the winter months when we had only Tuesday and Thursday evening play and not the whole week, because that means someone had to get there between Tuesday and Thursday. We had the gym for 3 hours. That meant basically 3 matches could be held because we had 3 courts. So 3 matches each hour. And so we had too many matches. So the people who worked full-time or didn't work full-time or had retired were able to play in an indoor venue. But it was hard. It was really, really hard not having the flexibility like we do in the spring and summer and early fall, because there are so many venues in our area. Let's see, we have Kenmore in Fredericksburg. They have 3 dedicated pickleball courts. Only 1 is lit. We have Pratt Park, which has 1 court, which is not lit. We have Cosner Park, which is 2 courts. They're lit, but we can make it into 4 if we want to bring our own nets, and we do that quite often. And then a lot of us live in areas where we can play if we bring our net. And then the over 55 communities have pickleball at set times. And so they'll say, oh, well, we have pickleball at this time. Let's play it, you know, my place. And everybody will get in the gate with a code. So it just really depends on your clientele. It depends on where you can find to play, if you have public venues, if you only have private venues, if you're renting it or leasing it. With the church, what we did was we charged $3 for your 3-hour window, because even if you did your ladder, you could play before, after, or just before. But so it was $3. The church got $2.50 per player. We got 50 cents because we supply the balls, the nets, the taping of the courts, and administrative fees as far as flyers and packets that we hand out to players. So that's pretty much the computer work of the ladder. If you have any questions, my link will be below when I figure out how to do it. And please email me or email my team. There's a SFS, pickleballsfs@gmail.com, which goes to everyone, but then we each have like little other emails, but we have one person that checks the emails and just kind of sends them out to where they need to go. So if you have any questions or you want to check out our website is, I will bring it up right now. Let's see here. SFS Pickleball. So what's really exciting about our pickleballing is that now if people put in SFS Pickleball, whoa, look it, we don't even have to put Stafford or anything. It all comes up here. And so if you click on our main hub, there is our team when we first started. That's me with the yellow paddle at the time. So this just tells, you can look about, which just explains about our pickleballing. And we have Play Pickleball, calendar of events, clinics coming, ladder information, places to play, and tournaments upcoming. We have ladder results, questions if you're interested in the USAPA. We have photos of different places that we've done. Here's one of us donating to the church that we play at. We played for 2 months and donated $500, and you can see Sister is very excited there. We have shopping. We don't have shopping. And we have Contact Us. This is our logo that we came up with. We felt like it explained that we were in Central Virginia on the coast here somewhat, on the Potomac River and Rappahannock River. And, just a quick little blurb about us. We are trying to figure out how to, and there's our email address. Ooh, I can get that. Yeah. We are trying to figure out how we can have people become members on our site, and then there would be a thing here that said, up here, like member directory, but that you would have to sign into to be able to see all the members and their information. But we're coming across that to do that, they want to sell your email addresses. So we're trying to see which way we can do it so no one else gets our email addresses for junk mail. So that's our website, and I hope that you enjoyed the tour. Go ahead and check us out. You can see all of us up here playing. My husband played in the tournament with me. Let's see, Mike, my partner, is over there. And let's see, Melody's right there. Joan, our secretary and treasurer. And Stu is also an ambassador in South Stafford. And I think that's it for this tournament. It was a rainy day last spring. But we were all out there. You can see the courts are wet, and we were using our towels, which I will go over another time of how to quickly dry a court. So, ta-ta, and we will see you later.